So there is something I did end up discovering here on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown about the seasons that honestly I'm kind of surprised nobody else has mentioned, or really no one really has talked about that much. But I gotta admit, guys, this really does change my entire perspective on this game, and if I'm being real, it is not in a positive way. Now, I'm sure you might be wondering what I am talking about here, guys, but it has to do with the entire seasonal design, which at the moment I do believe it's 4 seasons, if I'm correct. I thought someone said it could be 3, but we all do know a lot of games nowadays follow a 4 season model. So I will go off of that right now, and I'll talk about the 3 season model afterwards to explain this even more here. But the thing is, we all do know the other season in Test Drive was a little bit longer because the game had bug fixes. We all kind of do know this entire game needs a bug fix anyway, so it's probably, something that's needed. But something I was thinking about though, guys, and it's really, I can't even get it out of my head, dude. I'm gonna be real with that. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, if you were to pretty much play this game every season and quote unquote experience what they are adding to it, which what I do mean by that is simply down to the Solar Pass and the bundles that you will find in the online store. These are two things that you kind of need to get if you do want to quote unquote again experience the game, because if you don't have the Solar Pass, well, that does take some content away. Yes, you could go and do some of the new events that they add to the game, but there really is not much of anything to get in there if you don't get the pass and stuff. So something I did want to point out there, like, yes, you can go in there and do some of the live events, but you won't get all of that really cool type of stuff, if you know what I'm saying. But if you do want to get some of the newer items, which we all do know the game has, what, 6 to 7, and please do not make a joke about that, cars being added to the game, where I think 2 of them are free if you technically include the one car that's being added to the store. And then I also think, if I'm right here, the Solar Pass has a car, I believe, at level 50 that's normally free. I think, at least it's like a model of a car. So technically it's 2 vehicles if you think about it like that, where the other ones will not be free. Okay, I'm just trying to explain this here so everyone can follow me what I'm getting at. But either way, though, those are 5 cars that will basically be in the game. Now, we all do know there is obviously an online store to this game where they will be adding car bundles, which I'll show you guys this here in the store. The Wild Puma one, for example, is a BMW M4 with a body kit, also a livery, and then some outfits like Puma and some other things you can do. One of the other vehicles, if the game will hopefully load, the GTR is another example here, guys, which will have the wide body kit, also a livery and some wheels and some other things you can get. But there's also another one which will end up being the Ford Raptor one here, which obviously has like an off-road adventure type of body kit. And to be real, this is a pretty dope looking truck, I will admit that. But the thing is, once I saw this thing was 10 bucks, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not buying a bundle just to get the truck itself, dude. And even if they added this to like a buy itself type of buy, dude, I kind of still think it's a bit ridiculous, as things like this should be in the game. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering where I'm getting at with this, but just hang on here for a second, because this honestly blew my mind. If we do add up everything that you can get, someone did mention we will have around 3 of these type of online bundles every single season, right? That's $30 if you include all of these. And a simple thing here, if you look at the currency, you need to spend $30 in diamonds to buy all 3 of the main bundles that are added, guys. That's $30, by the way, just for that. But if we also include the Solar Pass on top of it, that will be another $5 for this. So you're looking at around $35 every 4 months in this game. Now, that's again if they do the 4-month thing. If they do the 3-month, it will be even worse in this aspect. But let's look at this right now. $35, if you do that every single season, which is 4, that would be times 3, right? That's $105 a year to play Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown if you want to get the items in the game, bro, okay? I honestly could not even believe this, because guess what the first thing I did was? The first thing I did was I went into the store and looked at Destiny 2 with the entire full-on bundle for both of the DLCs and like the Ultimate Edition, which would be pretty much the whole year of content in Destiny 2, guys. And guess what? That's $100. Technically, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, if you wanted to quote-unquote experience, which again is just cars with variant body kits on them, you can't even earn them in-game. That's pretty much it when it comes to the price there. Making this game more expensive to play than Destiny, bro. Just okay. Seriously, think about this for a second, because I've been thinking about this the past few days, really going, wait, so Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is technically the most expensive live service racing game. It might even be one of the most expensive paid racing games or games in general to even play to really get the quote unquote content that is added to it, bro. I mean, just think about this, guys. $35 every 4 months if you wanted to buy the vehicle body kits in the game and go experience those, okay? And I'm not even talking about the AI stuff in this entire store either, because looking at this sticker, you cannot tell me this is not AI, bro. Look at this sticker for 50 cents. You know that's AI, and obviously you can't buy that for 50 cents as you have to add more money into the game, or you can collect your 10 free diamonds for I think it's 5 days, or whatever it is, or whatever that might be, something like that, in order to get that sticker. So, yeah, I think this is looking a little bit insane to me. Now, as I did say before, this kind of changed my perspective, as, guys, I'm going to be real. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is obviously covered in issues. This game, well, if we're being 100% here, will most likely never get to its full potential, and if it does, it will be well forgotten by that point, okay? We just got to be real and say that, because the game has obviously been behind. They've been really working on stuff, and all the things that are being promised are getting delayed, or they're just pushed back, or they're giving you a date which can easily change a month or two. When we get to that point, they could push it back again. You know what I'm saying? But either way, though, when I noticed this, I went, wait, so this game basically costs more than any other racing game I can think of, guys. Motorfest doesn't even cost this much to play. And we can also be real on that, saying that the entire yearly pass on that game is also a full-on ripoff, being $30, but you do get the entire year covered with that $30. You also get the DLRC playlisting that's part of that, so at least you get something that is part of it, even though, again, that is a ripoff. But that's 30 bucks, okay? Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is $35 per season. Motorfest also has 4-month seasons, by the way, as well, so not really any different there. But Motorfest doesn't cost $35 in bundles to play that game every single season. Now, before anyone does say it, I know you might pop in and go, well, Block, there's also paid cars you can buy in there for $8, which is true, but those are cars you already own in the game, and yes, those are kind of also stupid. But again, they did that. I don't question things anymore with this, if you know what I'm saying. But the thing is with Motorfest, though, they're not charging you and locking cars behind bundles. Now, the funny part is they did end up locking the other NASCAR skins behind a $17 bundle, which, you know, is pretty bad. But the thing is, though, that bundle still costs less than the 3 bundles in this game. And I'm not saying that bundle's good, because that one's also an extreme ripoff there. But having the entire online store, guys, and putting... Here's the thing. There's 2 cars you could basically get without spending money. A lot of people spent $70 to $90 on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, right? I mean, that's probably the most obvious thing. This was a full-priced game, and then we did end up getting the online store, which I really do think this should just not be in full-price games, to be honest. People can be like, well, we got to support the game, which, yes, supporting the game is fine, but the thing is, releasing a game that is finished, that is also good on release, that works and has content in it, would probably make a lot more money than adding stickers and license plate backgrounds to an online store a year and a half into the game's life. And then on top of that, they end up adding variant vehicles that are $10 locked behind those, and the only way to experience those vehicles is to buy them. And there's also probably another side of arguments on this to where, well, the thing is, though, Block, these cars are optional. You don't have to buy them, but they're in the store. And here's the thing about that. You're only getting 2 vehicles per season if you don't spend $1 on the game, all right? If you don't want to spend any money on the game, you just want to play it, there's 2 cars in the game that you can get. Most racing games, guys, have a thing of content added to them, which guess what the main part of content for a racing game is? Cars. That's normally something everybody wants in a racing game. Shocking, right? Well, maybe, maybe not. But the thing is, though, if you're adding varianted cars, which I'm saying that in that aspect because there's 3 of them, that's $30 on top of the pass, guys. That's $35 a season, bro. And I want to repeat that because I've been really thinking about this the past few days. The cars that have the body kits on them, we know this is happening next season and probably the season after that. So we do know there's 2 already in the entire thing. Someone said there's a 3rd one that is, again, $30 if you want to get the bundled cars. And to be honest, guys, it bothers me because I did want the Raptor looking thing, okay? I saw this. I love off-roading vehicles, and I saw the Raptor. I'm like, that's dope. But when I discovered this thing is locked behind a paywall that's $10 just to drive the truck, I don't want no AI-generated sticker, you know, like this one, or an emote. I don't need AI-generated stickers, bro. Just give me the truck. You know what I'm saying? Just give me the truck. But it's locked behind $10 paywall. And I think that's really ridiculous to where they could have had this truck in the game where you could have earned every part for this truck in different races and different live events that put onto it would have been so much better than locking this thing behind a paywall. Like, seriously, dude, I just, this is something I cannot get out of my head with this game, bro. We all do know Test Drive is obviously not in a great place. I mean, look at the player counts on Steam. Yes, is the game almost at 400 players sometimes? 350? Cool. There might be like 2 to 3,000 players max on this game, including consoles, and they're charging $10 for locked bundles of vehicle variants in the store, bro. I just, it just blows my mind. You guys want people in your game? Here's a way to do it. Put more content in the game that makes people excited that they can go earn, bro. If I saw like the M4 with the really cool body kit and I can go and do races and get different unlocks for it from different live events and races, I'd be so hyped. That'd be dope. And guess what that would do? It would make me want to play the game. But now I'm looking at this going, bro, I ain't spending $10 on a vehicle like that, bro. It's a vehicle with AI-generated stickers and an emote. What in the world? And if you buy all of those, bro, that's $30. Okay, that's $30 for that, which I really do think is ridiculous. And to put this in another perspective here before anyone says, well, other games have DLCs, Forza also has DLC, and yes, Forza does have DLC. The Hot Wheels DLC is 20 bucks. If you get the Hot Wheels and the Off-Road DLC, you're looking at $35. Can we just seriously think about this for a minute? You could get both DLCs for $35 in Forza, all right, which give you 2 new full maps, all kinds of clothing items to get, horns, unlocks, cars, different things to discover in the maps itself. There's a lot of content there for the actual DLC price of just being $20 each if you were to buy them separately. But if you get them together, $35, that equals one full season in Test Drive, guys, of 3 bundles with cars that have body kits or different things on them, and a solar pass. Does that entire content thing even look right next to each other? And you know what's wild, though, is I'm kind of lost for words with this, guys. I'm not going to lie. When I'm looking at the entire online store of Test Drive and realizing that this game is pretty much more expensive to quote-unquote experience what they're adding to it than basically any other racing game I can think of, and even a lot of games in general that I can think of, bro. We all do know some shooters like Battlefield and Call of Duty have their own issues with this stuff, but this is a racing game that they're trying to promote and get out there. They now have this game on the PlayStation Plus, which is the upgraded PlayStation Plus. And I can tell you right now, as someone who is on PlayStation, there is no way I would get the upgraded PlayStation Plus and I would play Test Drive because it's honestly kind of a ripoff. That is, of course, if you are playing a bunch of games, then sure. But the thing is, though, when I'm looking at this, I'm comparing this to the Forza DLCs, which everyone was comparing that. Doesn't Forza do DLCs as well? And the thing is, yes, but it also gives you content in them, bro. You're not buying a bundle with AI-generated stickers and a car with a livery with a body kit on it for $10. 2 of those is 20. That's a full DLC in Forza, bro. I'm just putting this out there. And again, I'll even bring in Motorfest into this again. Motorfest doesn't cost nearly that to play it, and you get access to basically all of the content that they put out that entire year, which is making Test Drive pretty much the most expensive racing game to play that's out, bro. Just think about that for a second. They really have the entire nerve in a way to add all these bundles to the game, and 3 of these every season is honestly ridiculous. The fact that you can't even earn them is just wild to me, bro. Like, I don't have words for that. The fact that there is 3 car bundles, $10 each, with liveries and AI-generated items in them, for 30 bucks. And then if you want to get the solar pass, you get more things in there. You get like a variant of a vehicle and then, a couple variants actually, but other cars and stuff unlocked in that for 5 bucks. Getting that's probably better than getting the bundles. But if you only get that, though, you're only getting, I think it's 3 or 4 cars in that entire thing, something like that. Is it 4 with a variant or whatever it is? So you get 4 cars in that for 5 bucks. Where again, technically 2 of them are the main new vehicles in there, where the other ones just have like kits. But I don't know. A lot of people might argue that you don't have to buy this stuff, but the way I'm looking at it, though, is if you do want to experience the game, because this is how I was looking at this. I wanted to play Test Drive. I wanted to experience the game. And when I'm seeing new things being advertised or, oh, look, we have a brand new M4 with the, body kit and livery. I'm like, that's cool. Okay, I want to go drive it. How do I unlock this thing? To then you find out it's only way to buy or drive the car is to spend 10 bucks just to get the car, bro. You don't even want the stickers or the AI stuff that they add with it. You just want the car. You have to spend $10 for it. I just think this is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm kind of surprised that I haven't seen more people mentioning this. The fact that, Test Drive really is the most expensive game to play, bro. How in the world, seriously, everybody makes fun of Destiny for what they put out with content and different things. And yet we have Test Drive over here that costs more than Destiny 2's main Ultimate Edition if you bought everything every season in this game. Guys, are we being for real right now? Like, put the content that you get in this game, the vehicle variants and all that, and the pass next to something like a Destiny DLC or next to a Forza DLC or even put it next to Motorfest and really ask yourself, is this seriously worth $35? Mind you, this game is online only, by the way, so if they really wanted to, they could just turn this game off next month, okay? They could turn the game off next month, and guess what you will have from the game? Absolutely nothing. You would have none of these vehicles, none of these items, and yet this game is somehow more expensive to play than any other racing game I can think of. And some racing games have a subscription, don't they? Like, don't iRacing have it? But that's still probably around the price of this game. Well, actually, monthly. I don't even know what it costs, bro. But either way, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, guys, I gotta admit, this, when I was looking at this and really discovered it, it's just so dang scummy to me, man. I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I'm gonna be real. The online store, the AI-generated items, the clothing items, the things in the store, this stuff should be in the game to earn, bro, okay? You should not be seeing a $1 carbon spoiler in the store next to an AI generated sticker, and then you see a car with a livery kit. All of this stuff should be earnable in the game, and you should not be able to actually want to buy this stuff, okay? And one thing I also wanted to mention here, guys, if we're looking at the front store that does reset that's featured, let's add all this stuff up real quick and see how much just the front store would cost if you bought all of these things, which again, if you want players in your game, bro, put the stuff in the game to earn. Do not put everything behind a paywall, because when I first saw the online store, I was honestly pretty annoyed. Then we also saw the other fact that you could buy money basically with diamonds now as well. So this is pretty much Grand Theft Auto, but worse in a lot of ways. And then on top of that, once I discovered the fact that the bundles are technically the new content to experience, at least it adds on to it. Yes, you can have the detective missions and that other stuff, but what do you get from it? Most of the other items are in the store and other places. You don't get a ton of stuff to really go after. It's kind of just almost brainless content in a way that kind of keeps you occupied. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I don't get it. But okay, but let's add up everything here in the featured store, guys. I wanted to show this. So we have 100, 100, 2. That's 400 right there. Okay, these two is 3. We're at 7, 750 down there with those two. We have 300 there and 50. All right, so this is over 1,000. This is 10 bucks if you wanted this full thing. Okay, if you wanted all the items in here, that's 10 bucks. If you buy all of the bundles on top of that, that's 30 bucks with that. That's 10, guys. We're looking at $40 if you want to buy everything in the store. Bro, $40. And mind you, some of this stuff is AI generated, okay? $40 on the featured store if you did this and also the bundles. Does this look like $40 worth of content, bro? This is absolutely blowing my mind when I notice this, guys. I could keep yapping here about this. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, but the fact that this game is basically $35 to play, and the thing is, if they lowered that to $25, you only get 2 of the bundles a season or whatever, but they did say in the letter there will be another online store bundle, so there's 3 of them, then yeah, it will basically be $35, and if it was $25 every single season, you can also multiply that by 3, which is $75, still making this game more expensive to play than Motorfest, and also more expensive to play than something like Forza. And honestly, dude, I can't even believe it. And somebody mentioned, what if it was 3 months per season? I'm like, please don't do that, because then that would make this game like $130 to $40 to play it, which is absolutely insane, guys. I'm going to be real here and say that the vehicle bundles and the way they're doing this, man, is super scummy and honestly a big ripoff. I will not buy any of these. I really wish this stuff would be in the game so we can earn it, dude. But $35 just to get this and the solar pass every season, man, is just, it's honestly just straight robbery if I'm being real. Like, this is legit robbery of the player base. It's completely ridiculous, the fact that Test Drive costs more than Destiny to play it in a year. Ridiculous.